Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So today's story is going to be about the time that I took an edible and did not have a fun time. Not a fun time at all. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is actually a very recent story. This is just about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2-3 weeks ago. And I was going to Florida with a few of my friends. Because, why not? Take a trip with the boys, go out somewhere, have some fun, right? So, we had this trip all planned out for a while. We were going to go to Florida. We were going to stay there for about a week. It was going to be a fun time. So, the day comes. We all go over to my friend's house. We all get in the car. We drive down to Florida. It was about an 8-hour car ride because I live in North Carolina and Florida is literally on all the way down at the bottom of the states. But we were going to Orlando. It was going to be a lot of fun. I was really excited. So we get to the Airbnb. It was a really nice Airbnb. I had to share a room with two of my friends, 3 actually, because one of my other homies stayed a few nights over in our room because they were like bunk beds in the room that we had, and it was nice. I enjoyed it. So the first few days we kind of just chilled at the house, chilled in the pool. There was a pool outside, and I was gonna do a vlog, but I never ended up doing it. So oh well. But here's a story about it. So the first few days is normal, and this one particular night, my friends were gonna take some edibles. Now, what you should know about some of my friends is that they like to drink, they like to smoke, they like to do all that stuff. So, we were smoking, drinking, doing all that stuff, and then they wanted to take some edibles. And I was super down with that. I'm like, yo, let me take some edibles. Now, these were 100 milligram edibles. But my friends were like, yo, I don't think you can handle 100 milligrams. Because keep in mind, I've never taken edibles in my life, which I completely understand. I completely understand that they were not comfortable with giving me 100 milligrams, which is understandable, Never done it before. So I'm like, okay, just give me 50 milligrams. So they cut in half. They gave me half an edible. And my other friend, who has never actually done edibles either, he took the other half. So we both took 50 milligrams, and all my other friends took 100. And, this is my first time, actually ever experiencing, edible high. And so, my eyes started vibrating. My mouth started feeling really dry. But other than that, I was kind of just chilling. I'm like, yo, this is really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm pretty chill. I looked in the mirror, saw my eyes were super red, and I'm like, yo, this is so fucking cool. Cause this is the first time I've actually ever seen my eyes red. The time when I smoked with those girls in Georgia, I never saw what my eyes looked like. I never saw how my eyes looked. So this is my first time seeing them fully red, and I'm like, yo, this is fucking crazy. And the only bad part that I didn't like about it was that my mouth just kept feeling really dry. No matter how much water I drank, my mouth would always end up feeling dry. Now after this, I was kind of just chilling. My other friend who took the other 50 milligrams, he was knocked out on the couch. And after this, I go in my room and I go to sleep. Because at this point, it was like 3 in the morning. I was watching my friend play Overwatch. I was getting tired, so I just went to bed. And I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, good morning, guys, stuff like that. And they were telling me how I was fucking tweaking out last night. I'm like, nah, I was completely fine. They're like, no, you were actually freaking out. And I'm like, no, I was completely fine. Because that's what I remember. What I remember was me taking the edible, feeling my mouth dry. My eyes were starting to vibrate. I looked in the mirror, saw my eyes were red, watched my friend play Overwatch, and went to bed. That's what I remember. So, at this point, I'm thinking, yo, if this is what taking 50 milligrams is, what's another 50, right? Why not I take a full one? So, that same day, the very next day, what am I talking about? Yeah, the very next day, we went to the Orlando water park. It was a lot of fun. We spent the whole day there. And after that, we came home. And we were just chilling, and then nighttime comes along, and I tell my friend who brought the edibles, I'm like, yo, give me 100, and they're like, what? And I'm like, give me a full edible, and are you sure, dude? You were pretty tweaked out on the 50 milligrams, and I'm like, dude, if I can handle 50 milligrams relatively normally, I'm sure 100 is not gonna be that bad. And they're like, all right, whatever you say. And they even warned me. They warned me saying, you're not going to be able to handle this. But my ego was saying, you can handle it. You'll be fine. So they hand me 100, and they hand my other homie 100 because he was the one that was took 50 yesterday, and he could handle it. Oh my god! And here we go. So I take the edible, and about an hour later, the effects start hitting. You know, the eyes vibrating, the dry mouth starts hitting, and two of my friends went out to go get some McDonald's for everybody. So I'm telling them what would I want. You know, I'm ordering the stuff. And they come back with the food, and I'm just sitting there in the living room. There was a living room downstairs and upstairs. One of my other homie that went, he was occupying the whole of the downstairs living room. Like, that's where he slept because he didn't really feel like having a room. And after that, I went up to the upstairs living room, and I go up there. I'm eating my McDonald's. I'm watching my homie play Overwatch. And I'm sitting there, and while I'm eating this food, everything is completely normal. But after this, every time I would swallow, I would feel my throat start to close up. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit weird. Why is my throat feeling like that? So I keep eating more, and my throat just feels like it's closing up. And I'm like, yo, this is not good. So I tell my homie, I'm like, yo, I can't breathe. And he looks at me with the most serious look on his face I've ever seen. He's like, are you serious? And I start going... I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying to compose myself. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm fine. So I just keep eating my McDonald's, feeling my throat close up. And when my throat felt like it was going to close up, I should have just stopped eating the edibles. I mean, what am I talking about? Stop eating the McDonald's. I should have stopped eating it right there and just threw it away. But I kept eating it. I finished my whole thing. I got the $5 McDouble meal, by the way. The $5 McDouble meal is the best thing you can have on the McDonald's menu. Please get it. It's for a low price, and it's amazing. It's the best food ever. But after this, I just started feeling really bad. And a bunch of my other friends were in my other friend's room, and they were on the they were on the PS5 playing 2K. So I go in there, and I start watching them play it, you know, just feeling the fucking high. And at this point, I start feeling like I'm about to throw up, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm about to throw up. So I go into the other room, I go into the bathroom, and I'm laying there with my hand on the toilet seat, just with my face over the toilet, and I can't throw up, but at the same time I feel like I'm going to throw up. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and just lay down on the floor. That's my logical reasoning. That's what I thought was going to be best. I just lay on the floor, eyes closed, just laying there. Now keep in mind, if you were to walk in while I was doing this, you would have legit thought I was dead. One of my friends comes in, and he's like, yo bro, you doing alright? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just going to lay here for a little bit. I'm like, alright. And then after that, I feel a bit better, so I get up and I walk out, and I walk out to the upstairs living room, and another one of my friends is on the PS5. I forgot what he was playing. I think he was playing, like, it wasn't Overwatch. I think it was Marvel Rivals. It could have been Overwatch. I don't fucking remember, but it's not important. But anyway, I'm watching him play Marvel Rivals. I guess what it was, and I'm sitting there just with my hands on my head, like my hands are in my hair, just on my head. I'm feeling horrible. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, this can't be happening. Just calm down, Jacob. You're going to be fine. And I felt it coming. I felt my stomach start to turn. I felt my body start to feel weird. My whole face was vibrating. And I couldn't hold it anymore. And I threw up. I threw up everywhere. And no, I did not make it to the bathroom. Neither did I make it to the toilet. I just threw up everywhere on the floor. And let me tell you, when I did this was the worst thing that could have possibly happened. After this, I'm like, yo, this is fucking horrible. I look over at my other friend, who is laying on the couch, the one that took the other 100 milligrams. He's dead asleep. He's just asleep. He's just chilling. He's just chilling there, just, having a great time, just sleeping it off. I'm over here freaking the fuck out. So after this, I'm like, fuck, dude. So I get up, I maneuver myself around it, and I walk over to my bathroom. I look at my face in the mirror, and it's completely horrible. Like, my whole face is vibrating. My eyes are red as fuck. My mouth is still dry. And at this point, I'm like, yo, this is fucking horrible. So I just lay down on my bathroom floor for about like an hour. Now, I don't remember how this happened, but I do remember myself listening to Juice WRLD on my phone. Like, I was laying there on the floor, and one of my other homies came in and was like, yo, Jacob, here's your phone. I'm like, thank you. And I somehow made it I somehow made it to my music app and put on Juice WRLD. I was just like, I lay there for like a straight hour, just having Juice WRLD just play, and no headphones either, so people could definitely hear it. But I'm just laying there thinking like, this is horrible, and I'm thinking the whole time like, this is where I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die on this bathroom floor, and my friends are probably gonna get arrested for this. I'm over here freaking myself out, and my friends would come in occasionally, being like, "Yo, you okay?" At this point, I couldn't speak. I couldn't move my mouth. I couldn't do anything. So I just shook my head. Yes, my eyes are closed. By the way, keep in mind, I'm listening to Juice WRLD with my eyes closed, curled up in a ball position, feeling horrible. And I don't remember I don't remember what happened apparently, but according to my friends was that later I got up, went downstairs where they were all downstairs. They were still cleaning up the mess that I made, because you're not gonna make me clean up, because I am very unstable to even move at all. Let alone cleaning that up. So yeah, they were done with that, and I come downstairs, and apparently, according to my friends, I start talking about how I'm gonna go to jail and how I'm gonna go to hell and how everything's going wrong. And they tell me to go back upstairs. So I go upstairs, I lay down on my bed, and within 5 minutes, I'm knocked out. I'm out of it. And I wake up the next morning, and I'm thinking, yo, what a fucking crazy ass dream. And then I think about it, and I'm like, nah, that wasn't no dream. That was not a dream. So my friends wake up, and I'm like, the first thing I tell them was like, what happened last night? And they proceed to tell me what the fuck happened, and I'm like, yep, it was real. Because I fairly remember what happened that night, but I wanted to make sure that I was not dreaming, and I was not dreaming. And to this day, I've told myself every time that I think about it, I'm like, yo, I'm never going to take an edible again. I never want to do that. So after that experience, I was done with it. But after that, I never took another edible. We had about 2 more days left at the in Florida, so we spend the next 2 days, just going to the parks, stuff like that. And then we leave and come back, and now we're here. And to this day, I tell myself, I will never take an edible again. Never, ever will I do that again. If I do take an edible, though, I'm going to make sure I can actually handle it and not freak the fuck out and freak all my friends out like I did that night. And to this day, I will never forget this experience. This story will live on in my head forever. It's horrible. But, yeah, that's basically the end of the story. Take this as a learning experience. If you're going to do edibles or anything, and you've never done edibles in your life or ever gotten high, take this story as an experience to not do it. I'm telling you, this is a warning to not do edibles. It's horrible. You're going to feel horrible. Everything's going to go wrong. You feel like everything's going to go wrong. And you might just throw up everywhere and not even make it to the bathroom. Holy fuck. But, yeah, that's basically the end of the story. If y'all did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. I will see you all later. Don't try to bring me down, cause your whip can't make a sound. I know I make you mad, the way I've been moving way too fast. Joyride all the way, hoes be flashing me all day. That's Snap.